Courtrooms are places where justice is meant to prevail, yet the intense emotions they house can sometimes erupt, creating moments of chaos and disbelief. Behind every trial are people, grieving families, determined defendants, and passionate lawyers, all carrying the weight of human emotion that can sometimes defy the structure of the law. In today's video, we'll look at two courtroom incidents that escalated beyond control. In one, a devastated brother's anguish turns to rage as he attacks the man accused of killing his sibling. In another, a murder suspect shocks everyone by violently lashing out at her own attorney. These moments not only shook the courtrooms, but also exposed the raw, unfiltered emotions that justice often struggles to contain. Join us as we uncover the stories behind these incidents, diving into the chaos, the aftermath, and the fragile line between order and human emotion. In a Macomb County, Michigan courtroom, the air is thick with tension. The defendant, Jeffrey Clark, stands accused of the cold-blooded murder of Ja Ray Robertson, a crime that has left a family shattered. Clark, restrained in handcuffs, sits impassively as the proceedings unfold. The courtroom is filled with the victim's family and friends, their grief visible, their eyes fixed on the man alleged to have taken their loved one. The incident in question occurred on July 4th, when an argument between Robertson and Clark escalated tragically. Surveillance footage reveals Robertson attempting to flee, only to be relentlessly pursued by Clark. The chase ends in a parking lot at Joy and Franklin, where Clark allegedly fires multiple shots, mercilessly ending Robertson's life. This evidence is presented during the preliminary hearing. As the video plays, showing the final moments of Robertson's life, the emotional strain in the room intensifies. Family members exchange anguished glances, some averting their eyes from the disturbing footage. The defendant remains expressionless. The atmosphere is charged, the weight of loss and the pursuit of justice hanging heavily over all present. Without warning, Robertson's twin brother springs from his seat, propelled by a surge of rage and grief. He crosses the courtroom in swift strides, his focus solely on Clark. He shouts, his voice a raw manifestation of his inner chaos. The outburst startles those in attendance, gasps echoing through the chamber as the brother closes in on the defendant. The physical confrontation is intense, but brief. The brother delivers several blows to the back of Clark's head and body, each strike fueled by the pain of loss. Clark attempts to shield himself, but his restraints slow down any effective defense. Court officers and attorneys react swiftly, converging to separate the two men. The courtroom descends into chaos, the orderly proceedings disrupted by the eruption of raw emotion. As the scuffle unfolds, the audience reacts with a mix of shock and empathy. Some stand abruptly, unsure whether to intervene or retreat, while others remain seated, hands covering their mouths in disbelief. The judge calls for order, her voice barely audible over the commotion. Within moments, security personnel manage to restrain the grieving brother, pulling him away from Clark and preventing further violence. In the immediate aftermath, the courtroom buzzes with whispered conversations, a collective attempt to process the sudden eruption of violence. Some attendees exchange concerned glances, while others focus on calming distressed family members. The judge orders a brief recess to restore order, and court officers escort the brother out of the room. His words, laden with anguish, reflect a desire for retribution, a yearning to confront the man accused of destroying his family. The statement hangs in the air. The defendant, now surrounded by heightened security, is escorted from the courtroom to ensure his safety and the continuation of the legal process. The audience, still reeling from the incident, gradually settles as the proceedings are set to resume. Following the altercation, authorities arrest Robertson's brother on charges of assault, adding a legal burden to his already heavy emotional load. The incident shows the immense grief and anger that can drive individuals to act against their own interest, even in settings designed to administer justice. In the days that follow, discussions arise regarding courtroom security measures and the support provided to victims' families during trial. The legal community reflects on the need for empathy and understanding. recognizing that behind every case are individuals struggling with profound loss. As the case against Jeffrey Clark progresses, the court remains vigilant, striving to balance the emotional well-being of those affected with the imperative of due process. In a Green Bay, Wisconsin courtroom, 25-year-old Taylor Shabiznes faces a pre-trial hearing. She stands accused of the gruesome murder and dismemberment of Shad Therion, a case that has received significant media attention. The hearing is convened to discuss a potential delay in her trial, a point of contention for all parties involved. Shabiznes is seated beside her defense attorney, Quinn Jolly, with a security officer positioned nearby. Judge Thomas Walsh presides over the proceedings, maintaining a formal atmosphere as legal matters are addressed. The courtroom, though not at full capacity, holds a noticeable tension, with attendees keenly observing the developments. As the hearing progresses, Attorney Jolly requests an additional 2 weeks for a defense expert to assess Shabiznes's competency to stand trial. Judge Walsh, after consideration, agrees to postpone the trial, rescheduling it from March 6th to May 15th. Shabiznes, upon hearing this decision, exhibits visible signs of agitation. Her body tenses, and she casts sharp glances toward her attorney, her frustration evident. Without warning, Shabiznes lunges at Attorney Jolly, her hands reaching for his neck. The courtroom erupts as she attempts to strike him, her movement swift and fueled by anger. A security officer reacts immediately, wrestling with Shabiznes to prevent her from causing harm. The struggle is intense, with the officer striving to restrain her as she resists, her fury unabated. The audience reacts with shock, some rising from their seats, others gasping at the unexpected violence. Judge Walsh calls for order, his voice cutting through the chaos as he directs the courtroom to remain calm. A security officer, maintaining a firm hold, manages to subdue Shabiznes, guiding her to the floor to ensure she cannot continue her assault. Attorney Jolly, though shaken, attempts to shield himself during the attack, raising his arms defensively. He avoids serious injury, but the surprise and intensity of the assault leaves him visibly unsettled. The courtroom, now silenced, bears witness to the volatility that has just unfolded, a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of such proceedings. In the immediate aftermath, the courtroom is enveloped in stunned silence, the gravity of the incident settling over those present. Murmurs of disbelief ripple through the audience as they process the sudden eruption of violence. Security personnel act swiftly, escorting Shabiznes out of the courtroom to prevent further disruption. Attorney Jolly, though unharmed, takes a moment to compose himself before addressing the court. Judge Walsh orders a brief recess to restore order and ensure the safety of all participants. Upon reconvening, he acknowledges the incident, emphasizing the importance of maintaining decorum and the integrity of the legal process. The proceedings continue with heightened security measures, a precaution against any further outbursts. Shabiznes's attack on her attorney introduces additional legal complications to her case. Her actions in court may lead to new charges, such as assault, further entangling her in legal challenges. This incident also prompts her defense attorney, Quinn Jolly, to file a motion to withdraw from the case, citing the breakdown of the attorney-client relationship. The courtroom outburst raises serious questions about Shabiznes's mental state, her unpredictable behavior, both in the alleged crime and during the hearing, highlighting concerns regarding her competency to stand trial. The defense's request for additional time to assess her mental health reflects the complexities of ensuring a fair legal process for individuals exhibiting such hostility. Courtrooms are often seen as places of order and control, yet these two incidents remind us that they are also arenas where raw human emotions can erupt in powerful and unpredictable ways. Whether it's the devastating grief of a brother exploding into rage, or the volatile anger of a murder suspect turning against her own attorney. These moments highlight the fragile balance between maintaining decorum and struggling with the deep emotional currents between the surface. In both cases, the pursuit of justice collided with the unfiltered humanity of those involved. While the law strives to provide order and accountability, it cannot fully suppress the raw emotional responses that such high-stakes moments provoke. Thank you for joining us today as we explored these unforgettable courtroom outbursts. If you found these stories fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on more gripping courtroom tales.